Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fallout Roundtable. This is a place where diverse individuals discuss various topics from the Fallout universe. Join us, the conversation has already started.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Fallout Roundtable. It's me, Gingerino. I'm here with the core crew today. We got everybody. It's a modern miracle. We got Jaxus, Romer, Sassy Lady, and Mav all in the house. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
You all have to leave now. That was you all said the same joke at the same time. You can do so much better than that. I expect better from you. Anyways.
Well, I mean, I waved on an audio podcast, so
that's fair.
And
we all heard you, Romer.
There is video here, guys. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I might actually get to the point where I edit this into something somebody might see.
It's very possible.
Anyways.
Yeah, and I may actually get around to actually doing a YouTube channel.
You could put a picture like Gingerina did. You could do that, Mav. You can put that little picture you had on there.
Not while he's driving. Let's not.
I'm too.
He just woke up from a nap.
It'd be like last week, right into a ditch. Bye everyone.
Yeah. No, I am. I just woke up from a nap. I don't know how I would be driving in the middle of a nap. That'd be a modern miracle right there.
So today, as always, we have a very special episode for you. It seems that all of our episodes are special. I don't know if anyone's noticed that pattern, but every episode is a special episode. But it's for two reasons. Romer, would you like to let us know what the two great reasons for this special episode are?
I'm drawing a blank on one, but
one is your topic.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I was sorry, freaked me out for 2 seconds. Okay. Yes. Hi. We have a special guest. She is a host of many thousands of podcasts, but mainly of Gamestack and Games Who Game. Shaline.
Hello.
I hope I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Okay.
Hello.
I'm
host
happy
of
to be
1,000 podcasts. Man, you must be.
Yeah.
Thousands is his overestimation.
That's just that's how valuable the shows that you participate in is, like 1,000 podcasts, Shaline. They're so
sometimes it feels like it's been thousands, I tell you.
Right? I know. It's telling.
So Shaline, tell us something about yourself.
Well, I am not terribly interesting, but some of you may know me from other podcasts. I have done a few. I am a serial quitter of podcasts. We start them and finish them. So I've been on Fallout Off the Record, Katie Radio, That Fallout Show, and currently I am doing Gamestack, which is a general gaming podcast, and Dames Who Game, which is a gaming and nerd culture podcast that I host with a crew comprised of female presenting people. And that's basically it. I like video games and I like reading books and nerdy things. And that's me.
She says she's not an interesting person and then states, here are 1,000 things that are interesting about me. Shaline, you humble person, you.
See, so there wasn't quite exaggeration when I said thousands. So anyways, all right. So I am going to be doing the topic. And basically the topic is going to be your top 3 companions and why Nick Valentine is number 1. So, and I'll just go ahead and I'll start us off. I wanted to do, I'm going to kind of do an asterisk because number 3, I wanted to do dog meat, but I mean, there's not much there's not much background to dog meat unless you want to go to conspiracies. By the way, there's something I want to tell you guys, or Shaline reminded me towards the end of the podcast. There's not much character to him. I mean, that's not that word. There's not much background to him and stuff. So I didn't want to just go with him because I felt that there were other companions who were
had more dialogue,
dog meat,
more fleshed out.
Yeah. There are so many incarnations of dog meat,
and that's the problem too. Yeah, because you had the one. Wait, there's 1 in 3 and 4. Is there one in New Vegas?
There's 1 in 1.
Can we just establish now it's the same dog meat in all of the games?
I like to think that it's a descendant.
I guess
of dog meat.
It definitely makes the backstory slightly less interesting, but
well, in Fallout 3,
that's actually good.
Yeah, but
I like the idea of dog meat having descendants. It's good.
In Fallout 3, if dog meat dies, then you go back to Vault 101 and you pick up descendant of dog meat or son of dog meat. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, that's a perk you can choose. When Fallout 3 was a little newer, dog meat was very squishy. Like in the current incarnation of Fallout 3 that you play, he's a tank. Like dog meat can just keep on trucking, take hits and keep on trucking. But dog meat used to be the kind of companion that got breathed on and just dropped dead. And it broke my heart every time. I was always reloading saves to resurrect dog meat, and they added that perk for dog meat's puppies. And I was like, yeah, that'll be great. And it was worse somehow because I was slowly committing dog genocide with these dogs.
There's just a line. There's just a big container of puppies, and they're like, no, not me. She kills all of us.
Yeah.
I don't want to go next.
How long do you think that one will last?
Like in Toy Story, they have the aliens in the claw. The claw, you know, it's like that.
I have
They're
been
like,
chosen.
I'm chosen. Yeah. But really, they're going to a horrible, horrible fate.
Except for it's the other way. It's like, no, I've been chosen.
We should measure our Fallout 3 playthroughs in chapters of which dog meat number you're on.
Oh,
gosh.
How horrible of a person. Well, I eventually got to the point where I left my dog meat in Megaton, and he just greeted me when I would come home.
I didn't know anything about that. I just remember I got dog meat. He found me the alien blaster, and they're like, "You're like the coolest dude ever." And then he died, and I was so mad. I was raging, just running around just killing everything just because of that. And I didn't know you can bring him back. And it was just
I did the same thing. I was like, "You hurt my dog." Total John Wick.
I just did what Shaline did. I just reloaded a previous save. I was like, I refuse to let my companions die.
Wow.
I have separation
John Wick
issues.
thing. That was good. That was real good.
You didn't think I knew that, did you? Nerd cred.
Now I did go through. You played 1 and 2, right, Shaline? Did you finish 1 and 2?
I've finished 1 at least once.
I am so proud of you because that is a hard play.
She said it with like pain and disdain in her voice. She's like, I did it. I'm several years older as a result, but I did it.
If you don't have those nostalgia goggles for 1 and 2, they can be very difficult to go back to, and tactics as well. A lot of people think tactics is the best of the ISOs, but I found it the hardest to really approach. It was far less interesting to me.
My son loves it.
Really did.
I would love to have a remake of these games in a modern Fallout engine because the stories are so well written.
Yeah.
The characters are funny, and they're hilarious games.
I'm surprised they haven't.
That's something I think that they absolutely must do. Is make
I wish
Fallout
someone,
1 and 2 and tactics. Who cares? But
they can make
1 and
Skyrim
2,
20 times.
They should redo those.
They're worth revisiting. They really are.
I believe that mod makers are working on those, but I can't remember now for sure. Yeah, there's that too.
Sassy, more acting jobs. Right on.
Exactly.
Didn't a bunch of developers that are now under Microsoft's banner get together to create the Vault development studio? Maybe that has something to do with the remake, because I thought I heard something about that a while ago, like a long time ago.
Look into that.
Well, I know Microsoft has bought a lot of studios with Fallout cred that have that pedigree, and I want to see them come together and make a Franken Fallout that's going to have the best pieces of all of those games. We'll see if it happens.
Vault Labs, is that what you're talking about?
Maybe it's Vault Labs, but because I know the trouble with Fallout 1 and 2 is that the people who originally made the game are now split up between like 3 or 4 different development studios, so it's probably just like a licensing hell or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the problem.
So forget about I completely just dropped the name of all the remakes. Forget Knights of the Republic, forget
Star Wars,
all those remake games. Just all focus on remaking Fallout 1 and 2. So just just put the focus on the important areas. Sorry. Okay.
Well, the material's there. They just gotta get it into the Unreal Engine.
All right. So my number 3 companion, and I went back through New Vegas and Fallout 3, and I kind of sat on the companions, and it just none of the ones from New Vegas and Fallout 3 jumped out to me saying, oh my gosh, and stuff. So yes, unfortunately, I'm just going to go with 4.
Did anybody catch the part where he said he sat on them and then none of them jumped
I
out?
know they didn't jump. Well, I mean, he sat on them. They can't jump.
Y'all are gross.
So anyways.
Just love that you used y'all and you're Canadian.
All right, so I went with Longfellow. I really enjoyed Longfellow from Far Harbor. He had that like old curmudgeon, kind of like, fine, I'll help you, and kind of gave you attitude and stuff like that. And then to me, he after a while, he just kind of grew on you and stuff. And it was just like, it's like, I'll stop it, every time he'd like say something mean and grumpy to you and stuff. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed Longfellow, and it just, he was one of the companions that stood out to me for that reason alone. John Hancock, I love the idea of a ghoul running around wearing the I want to say a pirate, but it's not quite a pirate. It was
it was Revolutionary War.
Yeah, Revolutionary War outfit and stuff, and it was his independence, so to speak, the neutrality. It's like, well, we're not good and we're not bad. We're just us, kind of thing and stuff. That was the attitude that I like. But I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Nick Valentine as my favorite, obviously. It just so much of his story. Shut up. Maverick doesn't like that, so we know.
I know.
Go away. But there's just so much. To me, he felt like they concentrated a lot on him with his backstory and everything and stuff. And then Far Harbor extended that story on top of it. Like, oh, I was found in a trash can. Oh, well, we're brothers. What? That kind of stuff. And just the sass that he does every time. It's like, when you're around, the brotherhood and stuff, they're like, oh, you're, whatever. And then it's like, well, you're not a piece of work yourself, kind of thing and stuff. It was just, I love the attitude. And he just had this character that just, it's like, okay, I've got all these other companions. Who do I want to hang out with the most? Okay, I'm going to hang out with Nick, So, and then on top of that, I would always put on the Phantom, the Phantom character. What is it?
The Silver Shroud.
Silver Shroud, yes. I would put on the Silver Shroud outfit, so we're both running around in trench coats and so
sweet.
I still wanted an option to where anytime he talked while wearing the Silver Shroud outfit, it was always the cheesy, it's like, I'm the Silver Shroud. You have a settlement that needs no, that's Preston.
No.
Never mind. So, all right, so I'm done making a fool out of myself. So, who would like to go next? Would you like to go, Shaline?
Sure. This is really, really difficult. I am someone who gets very attached to companions in video games, very deeply attached. So narrowing it down to just 3 in the whole series was really difficult. But for honorable mention to Raul, you had an honorable mention, so I'm going to do 1 or 2. Raul Tejada from Fallout New Vegas, of course, voiced by Danny Trejo. Is hilarious. I love him, love his style, love his lines. I love how he teases you about being an old man and yeah, boss, I'll carry that. It's fine. Just give it to the old man.
Yeah, boss.
But my official number 3 is gonna be Boone, Craig Boone from Fallout New Vegas, who of course is the sniper character who resides in the dinosaur in Novak. Yes, find him there. Hates Legion, loves shooting Legion. That's basically his entire personality. And I just really enjoyed running around the wasteland with Boone and wearing matching berets. It was fabulous. So, and my number 2 is gonna be Fox from Fallout 3.
Yeah, baby.
I love Fox. I love him so much. One of the reasons that I used Fox so heavily as a companion is because he's just unstoppable. He's a machine. You can't take him down. He beats everything. And I always felt much safer wandering the Capital Wasteland when I had Fox with me. And I appreciate that he likes to read and he's this gentle giant, and just I love him. And my number one, I've taken an unorthodox route with my number one because this is not technically a companion. But my number one is going to be the prototype medic power armor from Fallout 3.
Oh, geez.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that.
And he's not technically a companion, but he can accompany you on your journeys.
Wow, I
And
didn't think about that.
I love that guy. The power armor, it administers Med-X if you have low health. And he shouts at you with the drill sergeant voice, and it's just brilliant, you know. Your health drops, he slams a Med-X, and he's like, "Get up, soldier!" He just, let's go kick some ass. Just it's the funniest thing, hearing this guy shout at you, and it's just a voice in your head, but it feels like companionship. So that's why I've named the prototype medic armor my number one.
That's good.
Actually, really good.
Completely forgot about that.
What are your three favorite companions, and why is it prototype medic armor?
Yeah, there you go.
I just change the title.
There you go.
All right. Well, see, I there's a reason why I brought her on the show, guys. She's awesome. Okay. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. I stopped. Ginger. Let's go with Ginger.
Yeah, man.
You're gushing.
Over me? Yes, I know. Romer's a big fan of me, but I'm a big fan of Romer. So it's just this cycle of fandom that just keeps going and going and going. One day,
it's the memes.
Boys, all by themselves.
It's true. He does do great memes. Okay, top
And
three.
boys.
I don't have an honorable mention, so I'll just start with number three. Number three has to be Deacon from Fallout 4. For a number of reasons. One, I love his sarcastic humor, and that he just trolls you by trying to convince you that he's a synth and then trying to convince you that he's not a synth. And also, if you pay attention through their playthroughs, you can see him following you throughout the entire game until you actually meet him.
Yeah, he stalks you.
I so love that. And then just
You stole one of mine.
yeah, it's fine. Get
And then every time you turn
changes
around, he's like
clothes.
naked
I
somewhere.
know, I know. And then when you you use VATS and you find out that he's here, who's this Deacon guy following me around? He's always got the sunglasses, but he's just wearing a different outfit. Yeah, real conspicuous. I don't know, but I love his sarcastic attitude. Whenever I have companions in a game, I usually like the ones that are funny and entertaining. That's my favorite thing. That's one of my favorite things about companions in games. So Deacon is number three.
Do you mind if I interrupt to tell a Deacon story?
Please tell me a Deacon story.
I had the best Deacon glitch, guys, on my first playthrough of Fallout 4. I was going through, I think it was the Institute. It was like one of the end battles. And throughout this entire thing, Deacon was just planking on the floor, just flat on the floor. And he followed me, just kind of slithering around on the floor behind me through this whole mission. It was like an hour-long mission. And it didn't matter going through loading screens or whatever. He stayed on the ground. And he kept changing clothes. He kept delivering his dialogue. Everything was the same. And at the end, he gives that speech about like some dusty old philosopher once said that people are made of metals and you,
does it on the ground,
are solid gold. And he's flat on the ground doing this speech.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Oh, I was crying.
Classic Deacon, you know. That's that guy.
Okay,
maybe he's my number one after all. No, I love it. That's so good. Oh shoot. It was you know what, I'm thinking of Deacon now, and the first playthrough was a tragic one. I had so many Bethesda bugs in Fallout 4 that I couldn't complete the Brotherhood or the Minutemen or the Railroad missions, so I had to align with the Institute, which means Deacon hated me by the end of the game. So I was very sad about that. But that's okay. You know, I got what, X688. What a guy. Anyways.
So I can add one little small thing there is actually the guy who does the voice for the character of Deacon also does a cameo in one of Preston Hardin's little shows there. You know, why is my brain shutting off? Help me out here, Sassy. Name of his show, Preston Hardin.
No, let him flounder.
Oh, Preston, you're talking about
True Vault Escapades. Thank you.
Yeah, True Vault.
Yeah, True Vault. It is a cameo in
Walter.
True Vault Escapades, like in one of the shows there. So if you find out who that is, you can go ahead and go there and check. It's kind of cool.
Heck yeah.
That was my one thing about Deacon that I didn't get to share because Deacon was one of mine too.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
You can give your reasons later. You don't have to.
I mean, there's 6 of us and we're each picking 3. That's 18. We're definitely gonna have overlap. It's not impossible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's already happened.
That's right. I'm still supposed to be doing this list. Okay, number 2. My second favorite is Kate from Fallout 4 for completely different reasons. One, she's an asshole, but that's fantastic. But for the second reason I really like Kate from Fallout 4 is that I was really into her storyline, and I really liked her journey from how you meet her and talk with her to the ending, or however you choose the ending of her side quest story. I don't know, it hit me. It felt an emotional reaction to that quest line, and I really resonated with the character. And when something like that happens in a game, you know, it stands out. And so Kate, it has to be one of my favorite companions in a game just from the story that I experienced with it. Also, the accent is pretty great.
The accent is really good.
What's really funny is that if my first playthrough, I had Piper. It's just funny. Piper was my companion, ended up having a relationship with Piper, and then we did Kate's story. And at the end of it, after you complete her backstory and everything stuff like that, she sits there. She's like, well, I know you're with Piper, but if Piper's up to it, we could always all 3 of us do something. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that sounds like something Kate would definitely say.
I was just like, I was not expecting that.
I for sure shipped with Kate in just like, I kept it just Kate time. It was a great time.
Kate time.
Yeah, man. And so for my favorite character, it's kind of a mixture of 2 and 3 in terms of what I like from each of them. My number 1 favorite companion in all of Fallout is Journeyman Scribe Veronica Renata Santangelo.
Excellent choice.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right. She is the Brotherhood of Steel scribe from Fallout New Vegas. And I love her wit. Like, the things that she says in that game is just hilarious to me. And even the whole thing with like her wanting to have a dress, I don't know why. Like, I felt that she was a real character. The voice actor just must have done a great job. Like, I really resonated with her story. I felt like I actually got to know her a little bit over time, and I felt my character really connected with hers. And I also just thought it was hilarious. Like, when you first decide to hire her on, her quote is, "Well, thanks for taking a chance on a naive young girl from California with stars in her eyes and a pneumatic gauntlet in her hand." And I'm just like, that's my girl. That's the kind of person I want following around, who says shit like that.
That's good.
Or great, thanks, thank you. I'll encourage people not to name their non-ugly children after you. Seriously. So it's the mix of hilarious quotes, but also a genuinely good side quest and story that goes along with it. So Veronica is my favorite. Sorry, Journeyman Scribe, Veronica Renata Santangelo.
Well, thank you, Ginger. That was awesome. That was really good.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess we'll go with Maverick if he's awake.
Crickets.
Maverick. Okay.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Not a Jackson.
Maverick.
Hello?
Wake up.
What am I?
There he is.
supposed to
Anyone
do
hear
stuff
me?
now? Oh,
Okay,
hi.
we can hear you now.
Okay. Well, I wasn't talking.
Is that
I was
you or
doing.
Maverick?
I thought Maverick was going.
No.
You're
Oh,
supposed to.
We couldn't hear
How
anything
bad
you
is
said.
my voice right now?
We can hear you just fine right now.
good.
Okay.
You just speak.
Yeah, man, you're clear.
all right.
Cool, because I have my phone in like a really, you know, sometimes when you're in the middle of the desert and you can't get a phone signal, and you have to put it in like a precarious position. I'm doing a workout during this. I'm my arm's having a workout during this, so just want to let you guys know.
All right. So your companions.
My companion, my top 3. Yay! So my top 3 are as followed. It's mostly going to be from Fallout 4. I don't usually play with companions in Fallout 3 because I just get them killed, and then I'd be like, that was useless. So my top 3. So number 1, my favorite one is Preston Garvey, even though I absolutely hate the character because he won't shut up.
Oh, really?
Who are you and what have you done with Maverick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as much crap as he talks about Preston, I'm shocked about this.
Okay. All right.
Never let them know your next move.
You need to explain, sir.
The companion, I like the companion side of him. I don't like how he just gives you radio quests all the time and just does not be quiet.
So he's cool once he finally gets to the romantic side
guy.
of him. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I have played a playthrough where my character is gay. I don't care who knows. I have done it.
And you love how Preston calls you babe.
Why not? It's
hey,
Fallout.
babe. Come on, babe. Babe.
Hey,
He calls you babe all the time.
Yes, and I've also done a female playthrough because I'm like, why not?
All right, we'll be right back after this break.
Friendly reminder, Board Game Tuesdays are no laughing matter.
Welcome back, everyone. Back to the show.
My second one is wow, I actually thought really hard. Probably also go with Kate because she's that type of person. Because I only did. She was only one of my companions once, but that was probably the most fun I ever had.
Who doesn't love a feisty Scottish gal with a shotgun?
And Piper. Yeah. What could be better? And my third one was Piper.
Piper's
Again,
awesome.
I've only played as her because I like. Yeah, I usually go head first into every situation ever. Go guns a-blazing and everything, and then I usually get scolded by my companion, being like, "Why did you do that?" So I usually just take dog meat because dog meat doesn't judge.
Well, he just can't speak English, so he's just internally going, "You son of a bitch."
Probably judging, but we can't.
I think if any companion judges, it's going to be dog meat. It's just silently judging us.
It's just lost, man.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of brooding, a lot of sniffling on the ground, going,
What is this? What is this jerk bringing me to?
What's really funny is I took different companions in Fallout 4, and for whatever reason, whenever I would take Kate, she would do more of the the close combat, like over the shoulder flip of the opponents and stuff, more than anybody else for whatever reason. And it was just like left and right. She's just like,
I noticed
people.
that
I'm like,
too.
what do you do?
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's got to be her background, right? As a cage fighter coming out.
True, that's true. I just found it interesting that it was
True.
like the guys, they wouldn't do a lot of like combat throws, but she was just like, it's like you're in arm's reach, you're getting flipped. That's at least that's the way it felt sometimes. All right, thank you, Maverick.
Sometimes I wish our character could do a combat flip because that'd be cool. Just in the first person, see the motion, but that's just me.
All right, thank you very much, Maverick. All right, so Jaxus,
what?
your top 3.
Oh, okay. So everybody's pretty much mentioned my top 3 and their top 3, but I'm gonna go ahead and go through it anyway. So one of my number 1 favorites was actually Piper Wright, because I love her attitude and her spunkiness. I thought she was really cool to hang out with, and she's got some of the coolest quotes. I mean, just I was sitting here reading through a few of them. So, I like my pistols like I like my company, higher caliber. It just the things she would say is so simple, and then it'd be like, I wonder if this is normal for other journalists. You don't know what she's referring to, but the innuendo is there. You know what I mean? The things I'll do for a headline. Each one of her little quotes, just put in the right perspective in the right situation, just was too funny. And then, so my second one was John Hancock, and for the same reasons, because I love the stuff that comes out of their mouths. I didn't expect certain things to come popping out of their mouths. What kind of settlement
Dude,
requires a
funny.
test for entry? And I just each one of the things that they would say kind of just, and it seemed like they always came out at the right moments. Like you'd be walking into a certain area, and then it'd be like, or that kind of bull is the reason I became mayor in the first place. He would walk into a certain situation, he would say that exact quote right at the right moment, like somebody would be shot in the head or something. And he would pull that in there.
I love the first time you ever meet Hancock. He makes his
Oh, yeah.
presence known. Like, all
Yeah,
right,
no kidding, right?
there's no wondering
He
what
has
this
one of
guy's
the
about.
Yeah, he
best
makes his
companion
presence known.
intros in the series.
Right? Oh,
Right.
It's
man.
awesome.
Yeah, welcome to my town, and I quit.
This guy is on my team for sure.
And then, of course, my last one was Deacon, and that again, it's because they're quotes, man. Their quotes are just funny. Insert something Shakespearean involving death and your inevitable doom here. Funny,
Man. Oh, Deacon's so good. I might
Yeah.
bump him up to number 2 or number 1. He's so good.
Well, it just
Deacon is
and then
good.
like the following you around in the different outfits and stuff, just too much fun. And if you're actually paying attention and you're sitting there shooting and playing the game and you see him like just chilling watching you, it's creepy as hell, but it's still funny, especially after you get to know who he is. But yeah, no, to me, Deacon was just too cool. To me, he was the guy too cool for school, the sunglasses and the bald head. It was just cool. I even made myself halfway that way. But yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome. I like Deacon, I like Hancock, and I like Piper. And you know what? Yes, I like Nick Valentine. I thought he was a cool character. I liked his quotes. I liked how he hung out with you. Is he my number one? No,
But is he as cool as prototype medic armor?
I don't know.
I don't think anyone is. I still love that she pulled that out of left field, by the way. That's great.
I
It's the
do
best,
too, to be
though. It
honest.
just
It
it
is.
makes me laugh so much.
Get up, soldier.
I play a lot of Fallout 76 nowadays, and I play with Archin, and every time that he comes to stim pack me, if I get down, he does a prototype medic armor quote. So
That's awesome.
Now, see, my favorite companion in that game, which isn't really companions, but yeah,
Beckett.
I like to hang out with Beckett.
Beckett's brilliant.
His bar.
I'm
I
already
like
drunk.
chilling.
I spend all my time with Murgle. Does anyone know who Murgle is?
Murgle
Cat.
Burgle.
Thank you. Oh man,
Love Murgle.
every account I set my camp up at that place, and I'm like, "Welcome to Murgle's coffee shop in the middle
Yeah.
of the ash heap."
I get so mad when I go
So
up there
good.
and it's like, Murgle's dead.
And you know what? I've killed Murgle so many times, he comes back. So don't worry about it. You
You're
need free cat
hateful.
meat. Murgle's there for you.
I know.
I just like dressing like Beckett up. Yeah, I put like a little boiler hat on him and some glasses and the like pants with the suspenders and his bar. So, yeah.
Dude, you haven't even. So my Beckett at my bar looks like David from Schitt's Creek.
Oh no,
I
kidding!
put the
I
black
could see that.
pompadour on
The way
him,
the Lord
pompadour wig,
intended.
and he looks just like, ooh, David. It's great.
And well, some of his mannerisms, dude, it totally fits
Uh-huh.
too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
I put
god, because
that.
Beckett is so like
I
whichever
was
way
like,
the wind blows.
oh my god, it's David. Yeah, I have a picture of it on Twitter somewhere. I was like, ooh, David.
That is too funny.
All right. Thank you very much, Jaxus. So we saved the best for last. Sassy.
Aw.
Your list.
Well, you get
please.
a twofer from me because I have an email from a dear listener.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yes, we have a fan. So I'll read his first.
Yes, we have a
Um,
fan.
No, well, a fan who bothered to actually email. So everybody else was apparently too busy. So what I have on this list, actually he gave two. The first one is just the Fallout 4 list. And his number 3 was McCready. His number 2 was Valentine. Close, but not number 1. And his number 1 is Curie. He says, how is that not one of the best
Damn
quests ever? Which is true.
Oh, that's Curie. I forgot about Curie. Son of a. I have to start over.
I actually did think about Curie because, me being a scientist and her being a scientist, it was kind of cool to do her quest. And I really got into her quest line with, the whole I want to be a real girl Pinocchio thing was kind of neat.
That was the best damn quest in the whole game. I'm sorry. I love that quest line.
It really was good.
How did I feel like I've committed a sin by forgetting Curie. Like that was so good.
So we also have the quick list of best followers apparently throughout the games. And we got number 3 for Fox because Strong totally felt like a ripoff of Fox. I'm not sure. Oh, Strong totally felt like a ripoff of Fox.
Strong was like if you order Fox from Wish.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so appropriate in so many weird and bad ways.
Shaline, you've just quoted our first t-shirt that we'll make one day.
No, there are many we're gonna make, but we're definitely gonna make that one.
That's good.
So
number 2, yeah, he's right on level with you guys, Veronica Santangelo, or however you're supposed to say that I'm probably not saying
Journeyman
it right.
Scribe Veronica Renata
Thank you.
Santangelo. Or
Thank you.
Jello? No, not
you
Jello.
did it. Jello, yes.
Yeah, Jello.
Veronica Jello. And then again, number 1 was Curie. Apparently he is stuck on Curie being number 1. So that was our listener's choice. And one of these days we'll have our he'll have them on as a guest. I'm all of a sudden just befuddled with words. So my list, this is very hard. This is very hard. And I also did not use a lot of companions in Fallout 3, and again, have not finished New Vegas, so can't really say I've done that. So mine are coming from 4. This is hard because I played with them all, and I played with them all until I got my max perks. And I same as Shaline. I mean, I fall in love with my characters, my companions, and I loved all their little backstories and their redemption quests and everything. I think my honorable mention is going to go to Hancock because Hancock's just cool, and he probably would tie somewhere in my list, so he'll get my honorable mention. My number 3 is Kate because Kate's a badass, and she just has that devil may care, I don't give a crap attitude, but I also love the fact that she wanted to be a better person and she wanted to redeem herself. So Kate's number 3. Nobody has really said that. Oh, yeah, our dear listener, McCready was my number 2.
Yeah, Matt Mercer.
Love McCready.
In my playthrough, because I played the female character, of course, and in my playthrough, and I do a lot of like digging in and role playing when I play my characters because I become them. I'm looking for my son, right? And
Dawn is a
very
method actor, that's for sure.
I guess
she goes and lives out in her backyard when she plays Fallout.
I do. So I'm very emotional. I'm looking for my son, although shamefully heavy to find my son.
Did you find him?
How many playthroughs of Fallout 4 I haven't?
You still haven't? He was the only person I was allowed to find.
Well, see, but I've done everything except find my son.
It's okay. It's very underwhelming.
I know, and that's why I have.
And he turns out to be a dick. He's kind of a dick.
I'm just like, So I do everything else because they're better. So yeah, because I'm on this, I have to find my son, and McCready has a very similar story. He's also trying to save his son, and so I bonded with him, over this fact that we both have children that we need to save, and so he's obviously my replacement husband, boyfriend, whatever in the game. So I spend most of my time with McCready when I'm not running around with my number 1, Nick Valentine. Valentine reminds me of like my dad. No kidding. No lie. I mean, my dad has that kind of like sarcastic streak, that dry sense of humor, that, devil may care, whatever. And
he's also
always
a
has
synth,
like,
right?
Sometimes I wonder, I mean, you should see the dude. If he's like working around the house or something, and he's like lifting stuff and he's heavy, and dude's in his 70s and he's just like the Energizer Bunny, just goes. And I'm like, there are guys in their 50s who would be like, I can't do this, it's too hard. So yeah, he might be a series
of characters and see if he just shuts down temporarily for a while.
No, I don't want to do that to my dad.
He'll be okay. If he's a synth, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. So yeah, Valentine kind of like, he makes me feel like I'm safe, like I'm hanging out with my dad, and I love the whole old Chicago noir detective feel that he has. I love that whole backstory, the whole way he talks, that whole, gangster, Chicago crime, boss deal, with him. I love that whole storyline and everything. And, I usually hang out with Valentine quite a bit, actually, because I don't know, I just feel like no stress. And so, yeah, I have to say that Valentine is my number one. So there you go, Romer, you got it.
1 out of 3, or no, 2 out of 6. Sorry.
How serendipitous that we ended with Nick Valentine, given the title of this episode.
No kidding, right?
Woo!
Speaking of which, guys, I am going to jump in for a second here, and I'm going to take a moment to thank all of our listeners, because we rolled on past, and I'm going to put a little mid break in there. So when you guys are listening right now, which is like later on for you guys instead of like right now that it is for me, there'll be a break in there somewhere where we just stop for a second and we'll just say something witty, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you, everybody, for like listening to us. And if you could like, subscribe, follow, do all that fun stuff to help our algorithm to make us actually get noticed out there, that'd be awesome sauce. You can go to Twitter at FalloutRTV, or you can also send us an email at falloutrtv@gmail.com, and you can give us some comments about how you like the show and how you loved our wonderful guest. Thank you for showing up to the show. It's Shaline. Did I say it right?
I'm really
Shaline?
happy to be here. Thank you for including me.
Absolutely. It was so wonderful to have you here, and it was a pleasure to have you in the show. So if you guys enjoyed yourselves and you want to see something more, did we already come up with a show?
We have.
We have?
I have.
I think we did, but I don't remember what it's talking about.
Okay, so whoever figured it out, spit it out.
I will be talking with a guest, and we are talking about a Fallout 76 roleplay group and how they got started and what they do in Fallout 76.
It isn't Brotherhood of Steel, the one I'm in, is it? That would be weird if they were here.
I don't know if it's in yours. No, it's not erotic.
Okay.
Just want to make sure.
I don't think.
Silent. I'm sorry if I didn't invite you to the show, man. This person beat us to it, I guess. I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. You know how that would be to try to explain that to your paladin. Anyway, so guys, please send us emails and all that good stuff. And yeah, there we go. And I'm gonna turn it back over to Romer and give him his show back, because I wanted to make sure we went in there and said hello to everybody and thank you, and hugs and kisses and all right, thank you.
We love our listeners.
Yeah. Hey, did we get our OnlyFans set up yet?
That was your job. You had one job.
Dude, we don't have OnlyFans.
You do the OnlyFans, and Maverick's supposed to get me the YouTube going. So
that's why we don't have one.
I could put our little video commercial that I created on there. I thought that was so much fun. I figured out video editing finally.
And our Instagram. I've been working on our Instagram.
Oh, you can stick it on there.
Shaline did have something extra she wanted to add.
So we're talking about Fallout companions, and there's one that I don't know if you guys know about. From the ISOs, there is actually a Deathclaw companion that you can
Intelligent Deathclaw.
Yes, his name is Goris. I want to say he's in Fallout 2. I think he's in 2. But he's an intelligent albino Deathclaw, and he goes around wearing a robe to try and like hide that he's a Deathclaw. And whenever you have combat, he dramatically throws off his robe. And it's the funniest thing. It's just
he's like a lizard slasher.
It is so funny.
He just reveals himself that I am a killer Deathclaw.
He's brilliant. That? So I just wanted to mention that Goris exists.
That's
Can
awesome.
you imagine that in the current games? Just like you got this giant robe fear, and all of a sudden it's just like shoot, very anime style. The robe comes off, and it's like it's a Deathclaw, and like people,
the saddest thing is I did an audition to play Goris in a show, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. Seriously, I actually
I have said that you sound like an albino Deathclaw before, so that's weird how that worked out.
I barely had to modulate my voice, really.
So now I have to update my list again, guys. I have a completely different list now by the end of this episode than when I started.
Aw.
Okay, now there was something else. Shaline, I sent the link to our podcast to Shaline, she listened to a couple episodes and she listened to the conspiracy one, and she brought up something to add to one of the conspiracies.
Yes.
About the mannequins. Do you want to share that with the group?
The mannequins.
Yes. So you guys were talking about the mannequins and how spooky they are and how they just kind of pop up. Well, a few days ago, I was playing 76 with Archon, and he pointed out to me that when you take Berry Mentats has the effect of revealing living enemies. They also include the mannequins.
Yep.
So
I've noticed that. That is creepy.
What?
Yeah.
So that was in 76, not in 4?
that was in 76.
It's in 76 where it makes,
Yeah.
yeah. So all the living enemies have that pink aura and mannequins have it.
What?
It's
Yeah.
so
way.
trippy.
Because it'll be like in your camp if you have mannequins in your camp.
Okay, so that's either got to be a coding thing or
Or there's a thing
there's a
with
thing.
mannequins.
It's totally a thing.
Oh my
I
god.
have
Oh my
noticed that
goodness.
before and I totally forgot about it.
Mannequins are actually, they're the observers. They're what this is
They're
all one giant
alive.
fault experiment. There is nothing, everything in is an experiment.
I'm telling
They're
you, it's the
ones watching
Institute.
us.
It's the Institute.
It's aliens.
Well, probably as aliens. We already know they've been coming.
Yeah.
They've already revealed themselves in 76.
They have
Couple
like a whole
times.
thing in 76 on the
No,
aliens,
maybe
so
it's
we-
angels. Let's
I
go
don't
with
want to
that.
get into how much they made me mad every time I tried to go to the train yard and sell my stuff and they shot me. I hate the aliens.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I
All
decided to push through that bug that I've been having in Fallout 76 where the Scorched keeps popping up whenever I logged in.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I finally beat them. I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll get back into Fallout 76. And then an alien came out of nowhere and beat me to fucking death. And I was like, I'm not playing this game for months ever again.
Oh my goodness.
All you have to do is play with us. He always plays by himself. And then we'll get on.
Well,
I'll
'cause he-
play all day.
It's because y'all are on PC. I
Because he
play on
doesn't
console.
play on PC.
Get over
Sorry
it.
for your inferior life.
Oh, not console wars.
I won't participate. It's all good.
Platform wars.
All right, guys. Well, that was a show. It was enjoyable, and I don't regret my list, but I do. I now that I think about it, I think there would definitely be some revisions.
I think
on-
all
on
of
my
us
list and
regret not
stuff.
having prototype medic armor on our list now that
No,
we've
for
heard.
sure. I did forget about
No,
Longfellow.
I'm-
Longfellow was a good one.
Longfellow is so good. I love old
Yeah.
Longfellow.
Get off my lawn. Sorry. All right, guys. Well, I think unless anyone else has got anything going on, so Shaline, would you like to plug something?
Listen to Gamestack, everybody. Listen to Gamestack. Check out Games Who Game. If you enjoy this podcast, you'll probably also enjoy Gamestack. It'd be great. So definitely check that out. We're on all the typical platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify, just wherever fine podcasts are given.
Hey, I want to share something. My all-time favorite moment from the Gamestack was the Naked Rick episode.
Oh, that was so good.
I think if I remember correctly, it involved Fallout nuclear. What?
No. So we were playing PUBG very heavily.
Oh, that's right.
At that time.
Yes.
That was when PUBG was not a full release game yet. It just had the one map and it was a total disaster. There were staircases to nowhere. You could just change your clothes in the middle of the match. It was wild times. It was the Wild West in PUBG. And we played so much PUBG. And I am not fantastic at PvP. It's not my thing. So Rick, one of our co-hosts, would basically kind of backpack us through this, and my other co-host Vendor is also pretty good at PvP, but I was basically the morale officer. So we're playing this one match of PUBG, and we get very close to the end. The circle is very small, and everyone's dead except for me on the team. So I'm the only one left alive. I'm hiding in a bush. The circle is tiny. The circle is just basically this bush that I'm in and this rock and 2 other players. And Rick says, if you win this thing, I'm going to do the next podcast naked. And the next thing you know, I am the champion of PUBG because they have killed each other. And I got a pacifist PUBG chicken dinner. Having killed no one, I just survived hiding in that bush. And Rick made good on his boast, and he did the next podcast naked, and we all opened up eating buckets of chicken.
Buckets of chicken, and he ate his chicken naked, I think.
Yes, he did.
Oh, wow.
And we commit to a bit on Gamestack. Sometimes it's to our detriment, but we commit. And he did that whole episode naked.
Is this a video thing?
There is a video available on YouTube.
Did he do
yes.
the helicopter?
It got taken down for obvious reasons.
Didn't he like hold a towel like just right and stuff? You know, so yeah, it was.
Yeah.
They had to show the bump.
Rick is amazing. He's the best. But I think that was maybe episode 4 of Gamestack. So if you want to check out the early episodes, you can find that on our YouTube at youtube.com/WeJustLoveGames.
That's so
Great
delightful.
show, lots of fun, especially when Rick is killing cats in Fallout games. So that's a whole different story. We won't go down that road.
Killing
But,
cats? I missed something?
It's during their early shows. Rick would be playing one of the Fallout games, and Shaline would be kind of doing the hosting thing and stuff, so you could hear the stuff going on in the background. And something happened, and he killed a cat, and he got so much grief over the killing of the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the record was this whole thing. It hit at just the right moment, and we had a lot of people writing in and commenting and stuff, and they just raked him over the coals for killing Maisie the cat.
Took it just a little bit too seriously.
Yes, it was funny.
You know, I have to say, I like the whole pink powder coat of the, guy behind you there. I think with the little shiny
This
bits
is
on it.
actually so we've got in my Zoom background, it's just a very sparkly pink power armor suit, and this is
Powder
actually how I met one of my other co-hosts, Spendertron. He was a listener to some of those old podcasts, and I had made a joke about wanting glittery power armor, and he photoshopped this for me.
That is awesome sauce.
Yeah, now he's one of my best friends in the world.
Another Canadian too. So
Yeah, so now you got.
I must know
You
him.
got a Canadian that does powder armor, power armor, and powder coat, and then you got another one that makes his own beards out of what looks like a mop, maybe a mop,
Darn.
something. Looks.
It's
kinda
all
cool.
natural, baby.
Oh yeah, a natural mop.
A natural mop that grows off of my face.
It's oddly not the same color as your hair.
I know, it's weird. I have a question to ask our guest.
go ahead.
Of course.
What have you been playing lately?
Lately, lots of 76. I checked out the new Turtles game. What's it called? Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
it's
classic
so
brawler,
fun.
eh?
Yes, I hadn't played that style of game in absolutely ages, and I loved it. The old school boss fights, the soundtrack. I was chasing a monster truck on a hoverboard as April O'Neil, hitting ninjas with a
man.
microphone stand. Forget about it. It was
Dude,
brilliant.
it's so good. I love how my favorite thing in that game is when you're going around, like the ninjas will be like sitting on a bench reading a newspaper, like you can't see me.
They're so chill, and they're like,
It's
"Oh, okay."
just the best and really good multiplayer. I don't know if you've tried that. Like having people on, it plays so well with a group. You can high five each other to give your health away to your friend or something like that.
Oh, that's brilliant. I haven't played it multiplayer yet, so I'm definitely gonna have to check
I
it
didn't
out.
have much of a choice, but it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shredder's
And
Revenge.
I downloaded the cat game, so I'm looking
Oh,
forward to that. But
you're gonna love it. It's
Mhm.
so good.
Yes, I hear it has a dedicated meow button. So
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a
Good for
trophy
that.
for meowing 500 times. I basically got it within the first 10 minutes. I can meow. That's all I'm doing now.
Yeah, that sounds like Gingerino to me. Oh boy.
Yeah, my man. No,
All right.
you'll like it, Shaline. It's a great game.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's just I've been really busy at work, so.
Fine. It's a short one though, so if you honestly, there's an achievement for beating it in 2 hours. So if you speed run it, you can do it. I don't recommend doing it. Soak in the world. The world is really good. Writing is excellent too.
I got so many backlog. It's not funny at this point, but
right.
All right,
the stack is real.
Yes. Well, Shaline, thank you very much. It's an honor to finally meet you. I've listened to you in my truck for hours on end, you and Rick and Vindertron and stuff. So, but thank you very much for being on our show.
I'm pleased to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Well, I am Romer, and the rest of the crew, Maverick, Gingerino, Sassy, and Jaxus. Go ahead and say goodbye.
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 Hello.
Mav, you sly bugger.
All right, guys.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.